guys, welcome back to my channel. You guys are doing fantastic. This is another foundation test video. So in today's video we're going to be putting the Fenty Beauty Pro Filter Soft Matte Long Wear Foundation to the test. Rihanna finally dropped a beauty product that she's been planning to drop for I think about 2 years, and everybody and their mama have been testing all her products. I myself, I did buy her highlight and contour trio, the matchsticks, and also the one of the highlighters. So I'm gonna film that as part of another first impression video, okay? But today's video is mainly going to be dedicated to the foundation because you know it's foundation test. So if you're interested to see if this foundation is suitable for oily skin and if it really is worth it, keep on watching this video. This foundation claims to be a soft matte foundation, long wear foundation with beautiful medium to full coverage. This foundation comes in 40 shades. The fact that it comes in 40 shades is so amazing. I picked up the shade 420 simply because like I swatched the shade 440 and that seems to be alright on me, but they didn't have it in stock. I wanted to get the shade 430. They didn't have it in stock because they sold out on the majority of the darkest shades. So this is to you all brands out there saying like, you know, black people don't buy makeup. We do. So anyway, so I ended up picking up the shade 420. Now this might look or appear light on me, just know I am aware, but I just had to pick this up because I really wanted to film a foundation test on this foundation for you guys, okay? So they claim for this foundation as well to be an oil-free formula that's resistant to sweat and humidity. They say it won't clog your pores. I believe they're saying it's supposed to be suitable for oily skin as well, and one of the first ingredients is water, which is one of the things you need to look for when you're buying foundation for oily skin. As majority of you guys know, I'm oily combination skin, and I'm also going to share with you guys at the end of this video how this foundation lasted on my friend Binti, who is actually more oilier than I am, I believe. Aren't you, Binti? Yeah, so half of this video might end up being a voiceover, just so you know, but right now here's the intro to it, okay? So we're gonna go ahead and apply the foundation as usual. One side of my face is in a brush and the other side of my face is in a Real Technique body sponge, not a beauty blender this time, and I've already applied primer. Okay, so now let's get started. So here are the products on my face today. Primer, which is CoverGirl. I'm going to be using Dermablend setting powder for my under eye. After I use the foundation, I'm going to use Laura Mercier powder for one side, and I'm going to brush on my face with CoverGirl bronzer, and I'm going to be using this NYX palette for contour, ELF blush palette, and of course the foundation. And in case I haven't shown you guys already, this is what the packaging of the bottle of the foundation itself looks like. I'll be using foundation brush on one side of my face and put a sponge on the other. And this is the shade of the foundation right here, okay? And it is quite runny. As you can see, like I'm trying not to bend my hand too much because it is quite runny. It has a smell to it, but it's not a horrible smell. It's not a, I mean, it's almost kind of like a fragrance smell, a sweet smell, but not a intense sweet smell. Alright, so upon applying this foundation with a beauty sponge, I realized that this foundation really applies really well with a beauty sponge. And guys, I do know that this foundation is lighter than me, okay? So this is the side without foundation, this side with the foundation on. It's a nice natural finish initially, and I'm going to go ahead and build it up soon once I apply the other side with a brush. I don't like this foundation with a brush, and I'm going to tell you guys right now. I feel like I say this quite a lot. I actually prefer the finish of the sponge, or even if I was using a beauty blender, I believe I would still prefer the finish of the beauty blender because the brush kind of, look at it, like I can see the exaggeration the foundation is making on my pores. It looks a little bit patchy, and I'm going to show you a close-up right now so you can see exactly what I'm saying. So there we have it. I would rather applying this foundation with a beauty sponge because the brush is just a no-no for me, to be honest. So I went ahead and applied the foundation under my eye as a concealer to conceal my bags, and added a little bit more in the areas where I actually need it without going all over my face. And then I'm blending it out with the sponge, and then I'm going with the Dermablend setting powder under my eye because I use the foundation as my concealer, and I'm going to set one side of my face with Laura Mercier translucent powder just to kind of see how it's going to, you know, interact, or how it's going to look at the end of the day. It's going to make any difference, okay? Here's my face all set. That side I set with a powder, the other side did not set with a powder, and this is what my face looks like after everything was all completed. And guys, remember, I did not use a setting spray, okay? And also this foundation did not give me any flashback whatsoever. So the time right now is 8:05 in the morning, so I am going out and I'm going to check in with you guys real soon. Alright Alright guys, the time right now is 2:41. Let me show you. 2:42 right now. And this is my face. Actually, do I have sheen on my face? No. Cool. And we're at a restaurant right now, we're trying to eat. And I ordered this detox drink that has ginger in it. It's quite spicy. Okay. I'll probably see you at home after I've shown you guys a show of it outside. I'll see you later. Bye. Alright, we just went on that roller coaster right there. It's called the Turbo Coaster. And oh my goodness, my eyes were closed the entire time. I could not open my eyes. At some point, I looked at you and I was like, ha! It wasn't that scary, it's just a loop. And the foundation is still staying. Hi guys, welcome back. Time right now is 8:09. I'm sure you can see that. This morning when I left you guys it was 8:05. So literally I've had this foundation on for 12 hours today. So this is what my face looks like right now. My face looks sheeny and this is how it looks throughout the day. Honestly, I've had to resist the urge of like patting my nose with my hand. I even took my Real Technique body sponge with me just in case and I didn't end up pulling it out. So first things first I would like to address is the sweat and humidity proof claim. That's the only thing I have issues with when it comes to this foundation for oily skin, okay? Because as you can see here, I don't know if you can see, I really hope you can see it. Right here, like, you know, even though it's quite cold today in London, it's very cold, but then sometimes you still feel a little bit hot and sweaty. Like right now I'm in the house and it's quite warm. I can see my sweat coming through the foundation, and the foundation is still going to build up around my mustache area right here. So I would not say this foundation is sweat and humidity proof at all. But in terms of like being suitable for oily skin, I would recommend this foundation for oily skin, simply because like even though I do have sheen on my face, it's not as much as like massive oil production. And also my friend Brinty used the foundation today as well, and she did also add sheen on her face throughout, and she generally produces a lot more oil than I do, but she only had sheen on her face, okay? So I wouldn't say you won't get oil at all. I would say you still produce oil, but it will still control the amount of oil you produce. So with that being said, like that's the main things they claim about this foundation. It is lightweight and it is buildable coverage foundation, and I was able to say on a medium coverage. I didn't go to a full coverage. Someone asked me over on Instagram if this foundation if it is similar to the Estee Lauder foundation, and I think the Lancome as well. I can definitely say that this foundation is very, very similar to the Estee Lauder Double Wear Stay in Place Makeup Foundation. That's because of the finish of it. The matte finish, but not like really slap your face matte. The lightweight of it, and also the coverage. Even though the Estee Lauder is more of a full coverage foundation and it controls oil more than this one, but I can honestly say that this foundation does have similar factors to the Estee Lauder Double Wear Stay in Place Makeup Foundation. I can't really say anything about the similarity to the Lancome foundation, to be honest, because I haven't really done a full day test on that yet. Once I do, I will let you know, but for now I can tell you that it is quite similar to the Estee Lauder. But I would recommend the Estee Lauder foundation more for oily skin than I would recommend the Fenty Beauty foundation. Do you know what I'm saying? Okay. So I'm just gonna go ahead and dab my face now with the Real Technique sponge, just kind of see. Like as you can see, more sweat is coming through my stats right now, and it looks so funny. But I'm gonna come closer so you can see it. Can you see that? So more sweat is coming through my mustache area right now. So this is definitely not sweat proof whatsoever. And in terms of the powdering, remember like I said, the side with a powder this morning, the side with a powder and the side without a powder, initially I didn't really see that much of a difference throughout the day, but looking at it now and also remembering when I initially finished applying it, there was a bit of difference. This side looks more flawless than this side does, and of course products applied better on the side that I set with a powder than it did on the side I did not set with a powder. Now going back to what I did just here, which is dabbing the sweat off my mustache area, the foundation's kind of built up a little bit more here, so I don't like the way it looks at all. So I would not say this foundation is sweat and humidity proof. Like all my sweats are coming out and the foundation is like falling off my face literally, because I am feeling hot right now because I'm in the house. Yeah, so Fenty Beauty, I'm sorry, this is not sweat proof whatsoever. It's hot, isn't it? And also in front of this light it's quite hot, so, and it's falling off my face. This was really going so well before, but now it's not going well at all. Alright, so anyway, with that being said, what would I rate this foundation? Initially I was discussing it on the train with my friend Binti and Elizabeth as well. I was like, I rated a 4 out of 5, but honestly, sitting in front of this light and, you know, feeling hot and seeing the results of the foundation, you know, the reaction to it in hot climate or temperature, I honestly would just rate this foundation a 3 out of 5. I would recommend it for oily skin, but I would not rely on it on those hot summer days. Like, it's winter right now and it's still not performing well during a mere warm or hot area. Do you know what I mean? So I would highly recommend the Estee Lauder better than I would recommend this foundation. Alright, so yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and let me know in the comment section down below if you've already tried this foundation. As always, whatever you're doing, to love yourself, and I'll see you guys in my next video.
Bye.
Okay.
I can see clean.
Yeah, you did it.
Stole my heart. We climbed and we fell, but nothing could pull us apart. Girl, it was you and me.